months to do enough design that we can then get a contractor to tell us if we have a good project or if we have a project on budget and if we can afford that project. So our validation study is going to cost about $1 million or $1.25 million to get to a point where the team can say, we can build this kind of a project at this kind of quality within this amount of time for our expected budget or below our budget. So we spend about $1 million. Traditional design bid build, we need to spend about 80% of the design fee to get to a point where we can tender to contractors and find out if we're on budget. Well, what if we're not on budget? If we're not on budget, we might have to go and redo our work. I think that's wasted. In our collaborative process, profit is defined as risk.
We're probably like another, probably 1 or 2 minutes here.
Sure thing.
I understand my thumbs up.
So Ken has finished. We'll just wait for Ken to join us here and wait for our conference attendees to join. And people are starting to arrive now, so we'll just hang on for a moment. Hello, Ken. Welcome to the room. I see Georgina and Colchera, and we'll just give just a couple more moments here for people to make the connection to join our live Q&A. It's taken everyone a little bit to kind of warm up into the process here today with our hiccup this morning. So we'll just wait 30 more seconds and then we'll get going. I see some folks had no trouble finding the room, so that's good. So notification has just gone out to everyone on the app to ask them to join us. We're sitting here ready to have a, albeit short, invigorating question and answer session. So maybe what I'll start with, first of all, to everyone who's on the call right now, our most sincere apologies to everyone for the problems we've had with the server or the platform. It just crashed, and it's not enough to just say that's how it goes, but you know what? In today's world, that's just how it happened to go. So thank you for hanging in there, everyone. Appreciate it. And we're here right now with Johannes, George, and Ken talking about the future of building design. To each of you, first of all, thank you for what you presented. It's very interesting. You could see some dots that connected between the three of you. And it's you're bringing a very global perspective. We've got Denmark, we've got Western Canada, and we've got right here in Regina. So this is excellent. So the one question I want to ask is that, you all talk about communities, building communities, and I'm wondering, like, how did you engage maybe with either the end users or the governments to bring this community to life? Because I mean, Ken, you're talking about building communities within yours. How do you do this in a most cost-effective way? And George, you talk about communities, and same with you. You're actually building communities between all ages. How did you all bring people together for that? Do you want to start, Ken, and go ahead?
Sure, I'll start. On the design and construction side, it's really interesting when we start up a project and we go out and ask contractors how to do things, and then they get really passionate and engaged in helping. But even better is that we include the contractors with the designers when we talk to many of the stakeholders so that everybody understands the purpose and why we're building something. And then that ingrains it all the way from our ultimate customer, the resident, right to the guys pounding the nails on site. So it's exciting.
George, Johannes, either you want to comment on how the process you do it?
Sure, I can jump in briefly here. That one of the things we do is we do a lot of community engagement. We like to talk to people. As Bill, you know, sometimes I get going, I just don't want to shut up. And one of the things that we heard loud and strong over the past several years is that seniors don't want to live in isolation, that they feel strength in coming together. And whether they're from independent living all the way up into the memory care component, they want to interact with people. We're social people. And that's why even during our COVID now, I don't like the term social distancing, because we are social, and so we want to stay together. And this is something that we heard loud and strong. And we also heard from the providers and some of the healthcare workers that by having that interaction between the seniors, it reduced a lot of the stress that they were encompassing.
Johannes?
Yeah, I want to add. I mean, what we see here in Scandinavia is that you know the triple bottom line of sustainability, where you have the environmental, the economy, and social sustainability. Many talk about that actually the social sustainability is a key factor to get the two others to work. So in many years you have like mainly focused on the economy and the more environmental and factors, but the social factor is really important. So that's coming from the government, that's coming from the municipals, that's coming from the developers as well. That you want to mix things and to try to plan for social synergies between different age groups, different functions, and so on. And that's what we see in our projects all over.
Yeah, so Johan, I want to springboard from something you spoke about. You talked about your coexistence village or villages, and all ages, multiple abilities, all living in one neighborhood. And George, you talked about communities, but within the context of seniors. And Ken, you're on the side of creating these places. So I guess my question is a little more for George and Ken. How do you see that concept that Johannes was talking about coming to life here in Canada? What do you think it's going to take for that to happen?
Well, I think we're starting to see it strong here in Alberta coming now, where we're getting full integrations of communities, as Johan's been talking about and other designers have been speaking about as well, that we're starting to get strong interactions, even daycare facilities, and the entire community is coming within that one community in that one neighborhood, that we have micro communities within a macro community coming there. We're starting to really see that grasp because it's been proven. And we look at places like Scandinavia that are more on the forefront than we certainly are, and bring their ideas and concepts back and showing it's working, guys. We have to do it. It's my business partner is from Denmark and speaks about the home that her grandmother is currently living in, and that they interact with all ages, all generations, people with all life skills, and at all styles of life living, whether they have memory care or they're just needing some extra assistance in the end of their life. It's bringing everybody together. We really see that being very strong.
So Ken, now you're trying to bring people together to build. Do you see that coming to life here? Let's say, for example, in Saskatchewan. Do you see the possibilities of that?
Absolutely. Some of our most successful design and construction projects has been when we engaged the entire construction industry in the project and learning what the project is about, and it's transforming the culture from I'm going to do what I'm told, and if it's not on the drawings, I'm not doing it, to trying to figure things out and helping each other. And when we get to that cultural place and we say, yeah, we're doing this seniors place and it's a community and it's home, all of a sudden everybody on the team, whether they be designers or contractors, they all have a grandparent, or they all realize that we have to do a really good job in this community because I'm going to live here someday. So it's a real shift from...
Oh, it looks like
we just lost
hanging. He's just about to give us the secret of life. So Johan, what advice would you give to us in Canada? I mean, you've been creating these, the coexistence village. any advice to us as we start to move forward on this?
Well, I mean, it's basically also what Ken talked about. That's it's getting all parties to work together. It's not just the designers and the constructors. It's basically the healthcare providers, the public sector that are doing the framework for this. So there's way too many silos between these areas, and that's one of the problem. I mean, administrational silos. And then you tend to focus on your key sole purpose, which might be providing homes, providing roads, providing schools, providing healthcare, elderly care, and so on. And if you get those silos to work together more across, then you will also see that you can actually benefit from each other. And it goes for both the economy and the social synergies. So basically, for these areas to blend and integrate more, you also need the administrational level to blend more. So the people that are planning and funding the different areas, they can actually see synergies between each other. That's why here in Copenhagen, I mean, you have a local government that are working a lot across different silos. So every time there's a public investment, you discuss and research the potential for different exchanges with other programs and functions. So when we build a school, it's also a public space. It's also a local culture house, sport facility. So you have to think that things that you invest in, it's not only providing one service. So, and that benefits all, basically.
That's great. Yeah, thank you for sharing that insight. So we've got about 90 seconds here. So we did have a question that came in on the chat and says, we are hearing lots about home-like environments while elders and residents and their families want a home environment. How do we do this in an urban congregate living environment where we have to start essentially and build it up, start from ground zero? And we've got, like I said, about 90 seconds. So who would like to lead on that?
I can certainly jump in because I'm very passionate about that. We're not building home likes, we're building homes. This is where the people are moving into. This is where they're going to be living. So we need to be, as Johan alluded to and Ken did as well, it's very much of a collaborative discussion. We have to bring everybody together. And certainly in an urban setting or even in a rural setting, we have to ask them, what is your home? What we design in Regina would be different than what there is in Saskatoon or even in Swift Current. The centers are completely different. They have completely different lifestyles to them, and we have to be respectful for that. By having a collaborative design approach to it, we can make that happen. And we can design homes. There should be nothing home-like about these facilities. It's homes.
That's Johan, you got 20 seconds. Close it off.
I mean, you can emphasize that if you want to build dense and high, then it's within the internal infrastructure where you create the social interactions, and then you have focus on that. There's an excellent project here in Denmark where you have like a high building with a mix of youth housing, long-term care, and normal housing. So it's absolutely possible.
Fantastic. It's possible. That's a great way to close this Q&A. I think that's fantastic. To each of the three of you, thank you so much. And I want to just do a quick housekeeping. So many of you who are watching, we were all set for Amber Mack to kick off the day with her presentation on technology and where we're at in the world today. We have recorded it, and we were going to play it at the end after Brian Goldman presents today. So we'll keep you posted with notifications. Ken, George, Johannes, thank you so much for your insights and your expertise. It's been fantastic. To everybody who's participating, we have about 45 seconds. You can leave this room and go into the next one, which is the start of our section on aging and diverse abilities. It's going to be very interesting, and we encourage you to participate and enjoy that. So thank you, everyone, and we'll see you in the next session. Take care, everybody.
Thanks very much. Have a great conference.